Shalom, shalom. This video is about the Gospel of John chapter 19, verse 16 to 22, about Pontius Pilate's testimony on the cross, in the notice that he had put on the cross. I'll read the text for you and then explain. Finally, Pilate handed Yeshua over to be crucified, and then the Roman soldiers took Yeshua. He went out carrying his own crossbar to the place of a skull, which in Hebrew, the text says Aramaic, and I'll comment about that, that's wrong in the text. This place of a skull is called, in Hebrew, it's called Golgotha. There they crucified him, and with him two others, one on each side, and Yeshua in between. Pilate also wrote a sign and put it on the execution stake. It was written, Yeshua Nazrati, the King of the Jews. Many Judeans read the sign because the place where Yeshua was executed was near the city. It was written in Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. No Aramaic. Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. The ruling Kohanim of the Judeans were saying to Pilate, "Don't write the King of the Jews, but that he said, I am the King of the Jews. What I have written, Pilate answered." So Pontius Pilate's notice on the cross was a testimony, and probably unintended, but worship nevertheless. Incidentally, please take note that Pilate did not use Aramaic on the notice. In this we can conclude that the promotion of Aramaic is the work, it's a gloss of the 3rd or 4th century translator who translated the original Hebrew text into Greek, and with the specific purpose along the way as well to sever the roots of our faith in the strong anti-Semitic culture of the day, and still until this day, of the Roman Catholic Church. In the three languages that Pilate used, the Hebrew testimony is the strongest. So I'll talk about it first. Yeshua ha-Nazrati ha-Melech ha-Yudim in Hebrew abbreviates to Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, the holy name of Adonai. So this was the reason why the priest objected. However, Pontius Pilate's testimony that Yeshua is Adonai, he is Ben Elohim, that stood. The objectors wanted the notice to change to Yeshua ha-Nazrati hu Amerani ha-Melech ha-Yudim, which abbreviate to Yud-Heh Aleph-Heh, which has no meaning in itself. It's like the abbreviation in the other two languages, which I'll explain now. It's meaningless. In Latin, Pontius Pilate wrote, Isus Nazarenus Rex Judaeorum, which is the abbreviation INRI, which is well known to us. In Greek, Pontius Pilate wrote, Isus ho Nazoraios Balileus ton Iodaion, which abbreviate to INBI, INB, which is very similar to the well-known Latin abbreviation INRI in our own alphabet letters. Remember that these three languages also use three completely different alphabets. So as end-time believers in Yeshua, we are called to echo Pontius Pilate's notice, because Yeshua from Nazareth really is the King of the Jews and the Son of God. In the words of Isaiah 45:23 and in Revelation 19 verse 16, we read that we have to bend our knees and confess with our tongues that Yeshua is Adonai, that Yeshua is Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. And then just I want to say that Golgotha is interesting. The place of the skull is very unlikely to be where the adulterous Church of the Holy Sepulchre is built in Jerusalem. At the end of the touristy Via Dolorosa road, in my opinion, that is grave soaking and worshipping the dead, and that is expressly forbidden in the Torah, and yet it is common practice here in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Remember, that Yeshua is not amongst the dead. He is risen. He returned to the Father from where he will come again. And all Roman Catholic crosses with Yeshua still on the cross is so wrong, because he's not there. He dead, buried, and risen again. The Garden Tomb in Jerusalem is a far more likely location for Golgotha because of the skull-shaped grottos in the cliff, and because the empty tomb that is celebrated there. It makes it far more likely to be Golgotha. However, I favor a third opinion, that Golgotha referred to a Roman influx control station which was at the foot of the Mount of Olives, directly east of the temple, opposite the Golden Gate, over the Kidron Valley, on the main road to the Galilee and to Jericho from Jerusalem. This is still a major highway today in modern Israel, because as many as, because as many as 1 million pilgrims came to Jerusalem to attend the Moedim, and it was Pesach, the Passover. The Romans prevented the overcrowding of the city by counting people at this guard post. Because of a Torah commandment not to count people, so that the leader or the king of Israel will not place his confidence in numbers, but only in Adonai, and that when Israel was counted in the book of Numbers, every counted person had to pay a sin offering in silver to atone for that sin of being counted. Because of this, a census in Hebrew is referred to as Golgotha. That's in biblical Hebrew as well, Golgotha. It means counting the skulls of the people, not counting the souls or the bodies either. The skulls. A modern English equivalent may be to count heads in a crowd. So Israeli censuses were counting the skulls as if the people were dead. That's why they had to pay the sin offering in silver to redeem themselves for being counted. Therefore, I subscribe to Golgotha as referring to the Roman influx control station that was just outside the city on the foot of the Mount of Olives. But there's even more to it. If Golgotha referred to this Roman crowd control station, then everybody who came to the Moed, Pesach, Passover, they would have seen the cross because it was on the side of the road. But more significantly, Yeshua would have faced the temple through the Golden Gate from the cross. You would have seen the temple through the Golden Gate. The temple doors were open, and incidentally, after this day, the temple doors opened by themselves every single night from this day until the temple was destroyed in 70 AD. And it's recorded in Tractate Yoma 39b, verse 6. So through the open temple doors, Yeshua could have looked straight at the curtain that separated the Holy of Holies from the holy place. And as he called to his Father in his dying moments, the Father tore open the curtain from inside the Holy of Holies, so that he and his Son faced each other eye to eye as Yeshua blew out his last breath. And with that, I hope I gave you something to ponder on, and I bid you shalom, shalom.